Okay, so let us start then. In last class, we discussed about join, right? And that is to be very specific. I listed all different types of join, and then we discussed cross join and inner join, right? So we discussed these two joins, and in today's class, we will discuss self join as well as different types of outer join, right? Like left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. So mainly these two joins are important as I discussed in last class. So one of them we discussed in last class, and today we will discuss about self join. And sometimes outer joins are being used like left outer join, right outer join, and sometimes full outer join, right? So we will discuss these three too in today's class, right? So let us begin with quick revision of previous discussion, that is about inner join. And before that, let's talk about cross join also. For example, if we have these two tables, okay, this table and this table, employee and department table, if I perform cross join on these two tables, how many records will be generated, students? Try to give an answer. How many records will be generated if I perform cross join on employee table and department table? Okay, so if I simply execute this query, that is cross join query, as you can see here, okay, number of records generated is equal to 24. Okay, as you can see here, 24 records. So this is cross join on employee and department table. Okay, so as you know that this table is generating too many spurious tuples, right? So what these two spurious tuples are. So before going into detail of inner join, sorry, in brief discussion of inner join, that is quick revision. Let us discuss on this table. I just want to display fname from this table, the output that we are having right now. From this output, we just want to display this, okay, salary, DNO, DNUMBUR, and D name. We just want to display these many columns, not all the columns, but some of the columns like this, and this column and this column from employee table, right? And these two columns are from department table, right? So we just want to display this 1, 2, 3, and 3, 6 columns instead of all these columns, right? Using cross join. So we just want to get an intuition how you will be able to write query, right, related to this inner join. So let me write this query for you. Uh, fname, comma, ssn, comma, salary, comma, dno, comma, dnumber, comma, d name, right? So okay, these are the columns that we want to display from employee, cross join, department, right? So now see, as you can see, against 24 rows, but with limited number of columns. We have same number of rows, but columns are now limited because projection अपन ने run करा है. That is means what we just displayed this many columns, right? Up to this columns. So जो ये यहाँ से यहाँ तक की column है, they are from EMP table, and these two columns from department table, right? So as you can see here, this is just to get an idea that if you want to write inner join query, how you will be able to write this inner join query, because in inner join we have to use on clause, and in on clause we use one condition, right? Most of the time it is equality. So what variable here and what variable here you will be using, right? So we want to decide upon that particular variable. So here, as you can see, there will be many spurious tuples. Okay, so as you can see, department number, this DNO is from employee table, and these DNUMBE are from department table. So no match, no match, as we see in last class also. No match, no match, there is a match, no match, no match, match, right? So means what, when there is DNO is equal to here, as you can see, is equal to DNUMBER. In that case, we are getting valid record, right? And other records are spurious records when DNO is not equal to DNUMBER, right? So this is an intuition, or this is an idea we get from this output of cross join. So using cross join, you can think of this condition that DNO of table, right, employee, E dot DNO, you can say that. And D dot D number is the column number from department table, column name from department table. So if these two things are same, then only you display this record. Okay. So let me change this query a bit so you can see the difference. Okay. So now based on this particular output, we can identify that there is a condition between these two columns, right? These two particular columns. Okay. So uh, in that case, let me change this query. Okay. So here, as you can see, if just we can change this same join query, cross join query with where clause, you will find the correct output, right? So instead of using inner join, even you can go with this. Right, cross join using where clause, where we will simply mention DNO is equal to DNUMBER. Okay, and if you can see this output, now your cross join query is changed to this thing. Why so? Because of this where clause. Okay, so now as you can see here, Jennifer, who is working in department number 4, and his or her department name is administration. Ahmad is working in department number 4, his department name is administration. Alasya, she is working in department 4, administration. James is working in department number 1, his department name is headquarters. Okay, so this is we means what, there is no spurious tuples in this case, so every tuple is valid in this case, right? So every tuple is valid. Okay, so with the help of cross join and where clause, it is possible, right? So we get an idea about this query, that this is possible with cross join, so is with inner join. So you can change this query, this particular query, cross join query, into inner join query. So how you will be able to change it? You can simply take this query, and instead of cross, you can replace cross with inner, right? Please mute your mic, student. So instead of cross, you can convert it into inner, and instead of where clause, you can mention on here. Okay, so you will get the same result. Okay, so as you can see here, both results are same. The first one using cross join, and the same thing, same query with inner join. Okay, so you can match these two things. Here it is where, and here it is on. Okay, so this is the only change you have to apply to convert cross join query with where clause to inner join, right? So what is the difference, students, with this query? We call it less efficient query in terms of okay, time complexity. This query is more efficient. Why it is so? Let me discuss that, right? So this is more efficient. Otherwise, output wise, both of these queries are same. Okay, so as you can see, you will find the same output. We call cross join query less efficient and inner join query more efficient. Why? Because cross join query execute, okay, in two shots. Why it is so? Two shots means what? You can consider this as first shot. Okay, so means what, for when it runs, okay, this cross join query runs, first of all it will simply as you can see here, oh sorry, as you can see here, this is about cross join. So okay, this is cross join query. Okay, this cross join query first of all runs, right, and it produces output like this, 24 rows, right? So it produces output like this, and then it feeds this output to where clause, this particular where clause in second shot, and this where clause will filter out all the records where department number is DNUMBER, and it produces this result. Okay, are you able to get this? So means what, it runs in two steps. The first step, it produces cross product output like this cross product output feeds into where clause, and then where clause gives you this result. So it is two-step process, 1 and 2, right? So means what, it runs two program. First program is this, and then second program. So first program produces one output. Okay, this output will go to the second program, and second program will produce your ultimate output, right? So that will become your ultimate output like this. So that is why it takes more time. Okay, so in case of inner join, there are no two shots. You can say that it runs in single step. Okay, so single step means what, there is no case of where clause. This inner join works along with this on clause. Okay, and there is no like nothing like two-step process. It is a single step process. It runs, inner join runs this query as a single step, and it produces this output. Okay, so this is the way we can run this query. Is it okay, students? Right. So now let me explain you one more thing. Okay, for example, the same query. Let's take example of same query. This is we call query optimization in one way, right? So if you use cross join and if you use inner join, you get same output, but this query is more efficient, right? Time efficient. Its response time is better. If you run this query, it will give you a result in minimum amount of time. You can say that here it shows it is 0.00 second in both case, because our table size is too small. Okay, and that is why if you are working with very big table, and real projects you work with very big tables, in that case you will see the difference, right? So this is more efficient query, inner join query, compared to cross join. So if you get a chance to work with join, and if you are able to get any output with inner join, better you go with inner join, do not go with cross join. Okay, but this is the way to derive right an answer of your question. For example, if you are uh, told to or perform, you want to display okay, employee's name and his department name also. So in that case, you can also find the output with this cross join or inner join. So this is just an example I'm okay trying to demonstrate you. Okay, so let me change this query. For example, this is the query where we display, just try and understand, when we display employee's name, his department number, and his department name. So for every employee, we display employee name, department number, and department's name. Okay, and this is possible with join itself, right? So we are not going with cross join. Now we want to go with inner join, right? So that is our first choice. But here, let me add one condition. I want to display only some of the employees, right? Not each and every employee, where the condition is, if employees, okay, I want to display employee's name, his department number, and his department name, right? Or his or her department name. So I want to display this thing, but based on some salary criteria, right? So if salary is greater than 30,000, then only I want to display this record. Okay, so the first you can say that a choice of my query will be where clause in this case, right? So let me write this query. This is with inner join, so I will be writing query where, okay, where salary is greater than 30,000, right? So if I write this query, my output, right, this output is going to be modified. Okay, so only this record and this record and this record and this record is going to be displayed here. Okay, so all detail about this records, right, are going to be displayed. So this is again with the help of where clause. So what happens here is, okay, again the same thing. When we introduce where clause, okay, our query is divided into two parts. So this particular query, this is with inner join, right? This is with inner join. So if you again use cross join, this subquery will become more complex, time complexity with better, okay, greater amount of time, or response time will be more in that case. But we try to run this query with inner join. Okay, so this query will produce this output. This output will go to this where clause, and this where clause will get this output. So again it will become two step process. अगर ये क्रॉस ज्वाइन से रन होता, यहाँ पे क्रॉस ज्वाइन होता फॉर एग्जांपल, तो ये थ्री स्टेप प्रोसेस हो जाती, right? So it is uh, even not better, right? So this is with inner join. Okay, so you can even avoid this where clause also. So if you want to make it one step process, again, we can apply some idea, right? So it will become more and more efficient, right? So how you can do this too? So see here, let me change this query a bit, and you will be done, right? Instead of where, you can simply use and, right? So here we used where clause, and we are here using and clause. Okay, so how this will become one step process? ये जो on है उसके साथ पहले एक ही condition थी, अब क्या होगा with on? Okay, we have connected two conditions, so both of this condition will run simultaneously, and then on will be applied, and this on is applied to inner join. So this will become single step process, remember. Okay, so this is even more efficient, you can say that. So you can use this type of idea. Okay, sometimes you'll be given okay, maybe an assignment during your real projects that you should write optimal queries actually. So this we call query optimization. Okay, so it will give you better response time. Your query will run in, okay, very smaller amount of time. So that is what actually expected, right? So is it okay? No, no, that is not possible. On is always go, it always go with inner join, right? Or join actually, right? So sometimes it is not possible to avoid where clause, Param, right? So, but one or other way, you will be able to optimize these outputs, right? So if it is possible for you to use and, so instead of using and where, you can, if you can go with okay, instead of where, means what, अगर एक ही query में दो बार where आ रहा है, for example something like this, where यहाँ पे आ रहा है, and then जो main query है वो फिर से एक बार where use कर रही है, this is inner query and this is outer query. So अगर ये दोनों where को, अगर if it is possible कि end से अपन replace कर पाए, so that will be more better. Okay, so try to do that. So this is just an idea, right? I am not giving you one you can say that answer solution. This will be, query optimization process will be different for different queries. Okay, this is one way of optimization. So um, this is the way we can optimize queries, right? So this is about I discussed about inner join, right? So now let's talk about self join. Okay, so self join is very similar to inner join, but as we know that inner join is something where we have two tables like employee and department. Okay, and these two tables are related, okay, to each other. Here employees working for some department, and departments are having department number, department name, and other attributes. So if you want to display, okay, values from both of these tables, we need to perform join operation. Okay, so this is inner join actually when it involves two tables. But for example, let me now give you one. Okay, that is employee table detail. Let me display, select star from employee, right? So try to give answer to my question. Okay, this is again employee table. Okay, let me clear this all things. Okay, this is table, employee table. So now tell me, what do you mean by super SSN here? I need answer from everyone. What is meaning of super SSN in this table? I need answer from everyone again. What is meaning of super SSN? SSN of supervisor. Okay, anyone else? Is Rohit correct? What about others? Okay, Param says yes. This, okay. So see here, if you want to see this table, this is employee table. So let's call this table EMP, for example. Okay. So this is employee's name, employee's लास्ट नेम, एम्प्लॉय का एसएसएन नंबर, एम्प्लॉय की बर्थडे है ये, एम्प्लॉय का एड्रेस है, एम्प्लॉयज जेंडर, एम्प्लॉय की सैलरी, एम्प्लॉय का सुपर एसएसएन मींस व्हाट, एम्प्लॉय का जो मैनेजर है, दिस इज मैनेजर्स, राइट, SSN, employees managers SSN, right? This is employees department number. So this is what meaning of each and every attribute. Now just try and understand. This super SSN, it is one SSN, and जो for example John है, उसका जो मैनेजर है उसका ये SSN नंबर है. SSN means what? SSN this manager is also one employee. ओके, एक एम्प्लॉई है, तो एम्प्लॉई का एग्जिस्टेंस सीसी टेबल में होगा, राइट? सो इफ यू कैन फाइंड दिस पर्टिकुलर एसएसएन, कहाँ पे है ये एसएसएन? अगर आप देखेंगे, सो इट इज दिस पर्टिकुलर एसएसएन, राइट? ये एसएसएन है, और इस एसएसएन वाले बंदे का नाम क्या है? दैट इज फ्रैंकलिन. तो यू कैन से दैट by referring to the same table, if you want to display John, that is employee's name, ename, and manager's name, दिस टू कॉलम्स यू जस्ट वांट टू डिस्प्ले. एम्प्लॉय का फर्स्ट नेम क्या है? जॉन है, और उसके मैनेजर का नाम क्या है? दैट इज फ्रैंकलिन. Okay, if you want to display this information, okay, this is possible with joining same table with the same table, right? So means what? Employee table, we will join employee table with employee table itself. ओके, सो लेफ्ट साइड पे भी एम्प्लॉय रहेगा, राइट साइड पे भी एम्प्लॉय रहेगा. सो वी डू नॉट ड्रो डायग्राम लाइक दिस, बट वी ड्रो डायग्राम लाइक दिस in case of self join employee, a diamond, and we connect this diamond with this. Okay, so John, he is an employee E1, and he is being managed by, right, managed by Franklin, and that is E2, right? Something, this type of relation, we call it self, right? Recursive relations, self recurrence relation. Okay, and if you have this type of problem, you will be able to join with self join queries, right? So we call these queries self join queries. You will be able to, okay, solve these queries, or you'll be able to write these queries using inner join itself, right? So means what? How you will write this query? Employee inner join, right side also employee. So we have employee inner join employee. Previously, if you remember, we write employee inner join department, right? So instead of two different tables, we have same table on left and right side of inner join. So if we have two tables, we should here give one alias. So let us give alias, that is E, to this table, and M to this particular table. That is, this table refers to employees and this table refers to all managers, something like that. Okay, so you can imagine this table, okay, is E, and you take same copy of this table and you can paste it here and you can call it M. And if we perform cross join on these two tables, the same deck records, all these records are there in this particular table also. Okay, so if we perform, instead of inner join, if I perform cross join, so tell me how many records will be generated? How many records will be generated? Try to give an answer. Okay, Ojasvi says 64, Param says 64. What about others? So we have 8 records in employee table, right? And if we perform cross join on same table, okay, so you will be having 64 records, right? So 64 records will be there in case of cross join. So let's first of all perform cross join, okay, and cross join and with same table. And I'm trying to reduce size of again my screen. So right, you know how many columns are there in this table? कितने कॉलम्स है इस टेबल में? देर आर 10 एक्चुअली, राइट? 10 कॉलम्स है. एंड कितने रिकॉर्ड्स है? 8 रिकॉर्ड्स. सो इन क्रॉस जॉइन देर विल बी 20 कॉलम्स एंड 64 रिकॉर्ड्स. Okay, so that will be cross joins output, right? So let me, okay, start from employee. Let me call this E, cross join employee. Let me call it M. So if I run this query, as you can see, the output, okay, it is having 64 records. Okay, so okay, let me extend this too, so you can see, all of you can see this. Okay, okay, let me clear this, right? So yes, I can accommodate in single screen. Yeah, see this. Okay, so this is the full output. Okay, so 64 records we have, right? So as you can see in this particular output, okay, your output is filled with records, but actually most of the records, right? Most of these records, they are spurious, right? So most of the records are spurious, invalid records. You can say that some of the records are valid. Okay, only few records are valid, and most of the records are invalid. So we just want to mark them out. That manually we want to mark them out. That which of them are right valid and which of them are invalid. Okay, so let me give you an idea. Okay, about that. So yes, all of them, not all of them, but most of them. Okay, so we'll discuss that. So before going into detail, okay, if you can see this column, so you have f name here, uh, see here, f name here, minute here, right? Minute here, lm here, lm here, ssn here, ssn here, same column names you will see twice. Okay, so this all columns are coming from as you can, if you can see, from E. This all left side columns are coming from E, and right side columns are coming from M. And you know what is E and what is M? As we write employee, right, alias E, cross join employee M, right? So we refer E to employee, and we just want to refer this M for manager, right? So ये जो सारी columns है यहाँ से यहाँ तक, these all are coming from E, and from this to this all are coming from M, and that is why there are 20 columns, right? So similar columns, okay, for this and this. Okay, so now let us try to mark some of the columns. We just do not want to display all these columns. We want to display some of the columns, so our output will be more clear, right? So let's mark this f name. Use just make two parts. Okay, is taraf and is taraf. Okay, so from this table, that is from employee, we want to display f name. From employee, we want to display ssn, right? So e dot f name, e dot ssn. Please remember this. Okay, we want to display super ssn. Okay, so means what? We have three columns from this particular e dot ssn, e dot f name, e dot ssn, and e dot super ssn. Please remember these three. Okay, from m1, that is m table, we want to display, we want to have ssn, we want to have f name also, right? This. Okay, so we just want to have this thing. Okay, that is f name and ssn. So how many columns we want to identify? 1, 2, and 3 from E, and f name and ssn from second. Okay, M. So please keep this in mind. Okay, and okay, so let me simply write here, so it will be visible in our next screen also. So from E, we just want to have uh, e dot f name, just to, okay, e dot f name, e dot ssn, e dot super SSN. Sorry, super SSN, right? Super underscore SSN. So this is it from this table, m dot SSN and m dot F name. Okay. So I'm changing the order. Okay. So this 5 columns. Okay. Please keep this in mind. So, okay. So let us try this query then. Okay. First of all, let me clear this output. Yes. So yes. Okay. And let me bring this here. Okay. So select p dot name. F name, sorry, it is there, it is written on top, right, in red colors. So e dot f name means what, अपन e table से f name को लेना चाहते हैं, e dot ssn comma e dot super ssn underscore ssn comma e dot sorry, only 3 things. Now we just want to take m dot ssn, दूसरे टेबल से SSN and second टेबल से m dot f name. Okay, so these things we want to take. Okay, so from which table? Employee table, and we want to call it E cross join, again employee table. Now we want to call it M. Okay, so this is it. See students, now we have same 64 rows, but now we have limited number of columns. But now we have an idea. If you want to develop self join query, okay, based on okay, this particular column and this column, you can get an idea कि जहां पे ये दोनों सेम है वहां पे वो टपल मीनिंगफुल टपल है. So why so? Because this is super SSN. Super SSN किसका है? ये इस एम्प्लॉय का सुपर एसएसएन है, और ये वाला जो एसएसएन है, right, that is coming from M table. So that is manager's SSN. We consider it manager's SSN, right? Because all these 3 columns are coming from you can say that E. Okay, ये तीनों कॉलम जो है that belongs to E. ये तीनों कॉलम they all belongs to E, and these 2 columns they belong to M. Okay, so if it belongs to M, it is M SSN, that is manager's SSN. This is E, so this is E SSN, that is employees SSN. This is E super SSN, that is employees super SSN, that is manager's SSN, right? So ये manager SSN है और ये भी manager का SSN है. अगर ये दोनों same होते हैं, that means what? That is his or her manager. So that is an idea that okay, we just what we need, you know, in inner join, the important thing to derive is in inner join query, employee this side, employee this side, right? Employee and manager this side, and we need to derive on clause, and this on clause is having quality condition, one attribute here and one attribute here. So we need to derive these 2 attributes. Okay, so this is one attribute and this is another attribute. Okay, how you get an idea? By looking into this particular values, you will be able to find that these values are having match or not, right? So no match. Okay, here we don't have any match. No match. Here there is a match. See, right? Are you able to get this? Okay, so again there is a match here, as you can see. Okay, so means what? See, this is super SSN, that is manager SSN. This SSN is M SSN, that is manager's SSN. That is why there is matching, and we can compare both of them. इसको और इसको अपन मैच नहीं कर सकते. ये एम्प्लॉय का SSN है, ये मैनेजर का SSN है. Okay, we can compare these 2. Why so? Because this is manager SSN and this is also manager's SSN. Okay, so that is an idea. So that is why we just want to derive this condition. Okay, so this is the only important part in any join query. Okay, that what operation you perform here after on, that is very difficult to get. Okay, sometimes it is difficult to get. for students. Actually, once you become an database expert, it will be very easy for you to understand this thing. But initially, how you can identify that my query is working correctly or not, or if you want to write an answer in exams also, you have to think like this, and then you will be able to write query, right? So as you can see here, okay, matching, there is a match here, there is a match, okay. If you can see some of the matching, right, so some of the matching you will find, because there are many records, so it is even very difficult to identify match also. Okay, so similarly you will be able to find some match. So by looking into this record, you can say that who is manager of John? Franklin is manager of John. Okay, Joyce का manager कौन होगा? So Franklin. Okay, again Franklin. For example, if you can find any other match, here also you can see one match. Okay, so who is Jennifer's right manager? James is Jennifer's manager. So similarly you will be able to find many records. So now you know that this particular super SSN, that is super SSN, here it is E dot super SSN, and this SSN is M dot SSN. So on clause के बाद जो condition होगी वो क्या होगी? E dot super SSN is equal to M dot SSN. So this is the condition that we want to derive. Okay, so if you can find this condition, okay, your join query is good, and you will see the correct output. Okay, so let me then write this query for you. So simply this is with the help of join, cross join actually. So E dot super SSN is equal to M dot SSN. So this will do, right? See, means what? Here, this particular query is actually producing this output, 64 rows. You can feed this 64 rows to where clause, and this where clause will give you this output. Okay, so this is with the help of cross join. That is why, right? So, but as you can see, John's manager is Franklin, Franklin's manager is James, Joyce's manager is Franklin, Ramesh's manager is Franklin, Jennifer's manager is James, and everything, right? So it is there. So no, no. Okay. If you want to try, yes, let's try that. Let's see what happens. It may work. I don't know. Yes, it is working, right? So ultimately, if you use this on, then it is okay, right? Instead of where, if you use on, right, it will work fine. So means what? Internally, if you say cross join, okay, or inner join, okay, so both of them with on with, they are same, right? If you go with cross join or inner join, and if you use on, they will be same. Okay, so but better you use for clarity inner join. So yes, now if you want to change, now you know what to do, right? Instead of you can cross join, you can simply change inner here, and it will work fine, right? So this is the way we use inner join, right? And application of inner join, how you will be able to find condition on condition for inner join with the help of cross join, right? So that is it for inner join. Now let's try to understand what is outer join, right? So let me open one resource again, the same resource that we discussed earlier also, that is InfiniQ. Okay, so this is, yes, we are at InfiniQ now, and let me, yes, outer join. Okay, so outer join, right? So let's try to understand this with using, right, outer join. Okay, so consider there are two tables as it is given in this particular slide. Okay, so it is about left outer join, right? So if you understand left outer join, you will be able to understand right outer join. So what this join is, I will explain it by example, by illustration, but by not writing query, right? You will write your own queries. Okay, so I'm not going to explain each and everything, and do not want to spoon feed it. So that is why. So let us, okay. So this query is very easy. That is why. So yeah, so let us understand that left outer join for tables A and table B. Let us consider this is table A and this is table B. This table's name is actually employee. Let's call it EMP, and this table's name is computer actually. Okay, so computer table and employee table. So let us call it A for this understanding. So left outer join for table A and B will always return all records from table A. So from this table, every record will be reflected in output, and matching record in table B. All the matching records in table B. So matching means what? There will be some condition to perform match operation. Okay. So as you can see here in this particular query, there is one on condition. So on condition is matching condition. So पहले टेबल का कंप्यूटर आईडी और दूसरे टेबल का कंप्यूटर आईडी मैच होगा, so that is matching condition. So computer id from first table and computer id from second table, so there is a match, right? Here there is a match, and in this case there is a match, right? So there is a match. So we have three matching records from table B, and all the records from table A will be there in output, and matching records from table B will be there in output. Okay. So let us then try to understand this query. Okay, the similar query you will be able to write. So let us understand this query. Select ID. So this column, ename. So this column, e dot computer ID, right? So employees computer ID, and c dot computer ID is computer tables computer ID, and model. So this model. So this query displays only five columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let me then give you name of the column, ID, ename, right? Computer ID, right? And here let's call it CID, just to differentiate it, CID and model, right? So this five columns. So as I explained, this left outer join displays all the records from this table, A table, and matching records from right side table. Okay, so let us start with this. So ID column is 1, ename is James, right? And computer ID is 1001. So what is matching computer ID here? So yes, we have matching. So computer ID, that is CID 1001, and what is model? Corresponding model is Vastro. Okay, and similarly this second column, second row is Ethan. So let me call it Ethan only. Okay, and here it is null. Computer ID uska null hai. So in that case, here also it will be null. Okay, number 3, Emily, right? So Emily, 1002 computer ID, and here also there is a matching, right? 1002 here. So 1002, okay, and related to 1002, model name is Precision. Okay, so similarly, number 4, that is Jack, and here it is null. So null here and null here, right? Number 5, Ayaz, and there is computer ID 1003. Are you able to find it? Yes, here from it is possible. 1003, and model is age, right? This record will be eliminated from the output as it is given in definition of left outer join. Okay, no records will be displayed from the right table if it is left outer join, if no corresponding match is available. Okay, so how many records okay, it displays actually here. कितने record display कर रहा है ये? Yes, 5, right? So assume in table A, if there are m records, and in table B there are n records, n, Okay, in table A there are m records, in table B there are n records, so left outer join होगा दोनों का. Okay, so how many records will be displayed in that case in general? Okay, yes, m records will be displayed. Okay, so this is the way you can, okay, understand this join. In case of right outer join, the definition will be a bit different. All the records from the right table will be included and corresponding matching records from the left table will be included. So in that case, how many records will be displayed? If A is having m records and B is having n records, so in right outer join, how many records will be displayed? Right, n records will be displayed. So I'm not going to explain you how it will work. Okay, so now let us talk about full outer join, right? So full outer join, so in full outer join, your query will be like this only, but instead of left you can simply mention outer join, so it will become full outer join, right? So in case of full outer join, every record will be included. Okay, with corresponding match also, and if there that does not match then also. तो यहाँ पे एक मैच है, यहाँ पे एक मैच है और यहाँ पे एक मैच है. ओके, सो अगर बाकी का इसका मैच नहीं अवेलेबल है तो बाकी की सारे फील्ड्स राइट साइड पे नल आएगी. ओके, अगर ओके लेट मी ट्राई दिस. सो okay, so I will come to that. Okay, so id, ename, okay, computer id, that is comp id, CID from another table and model from second table, right? So I am talking about now full join. So one James Porter, let's call it JP, 1001, 1001 here, and corresponding Vastro is there, right? Similarly two Ethan, let's call it ETH, null here. So if it is null here, okay, the other columns like CID and model will become null, right? Because there is no matching available. 3 Emily, let's call it EMI. Okay, 1002. So 1002 is here, 1002 is there, so matching is there. Okay, and precision is the model, so let's call it PRE. Okay, number 4, that is Jack. I'm talking about full outer join, right? Jack, here it is null, so null, here also null, here also null, right? Number 5, Ayaz, that is okay, having 1003, 1003, so there is a match and age is the model, so 1003 and age. Okay, now means what, every record from this table is going to be included and every record from this table also is going to be included. तो ये तो include हो गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये बच गया. Okay, so इस केस में कंप्यूटर आईडी दैट इज CID 1004 है, रिवर्स तरीके से चलना है, एंड मॉडल इज होराइजन, राइट? सो एंड बाकी का मैचिंग इस तरफ नहीं है तो बाकी का सारा क्या हो जाएगा, नल. ये राइट आउटर ज्वाइन की तरह चल रहा है. ओके, सो हाउ मेनी रिकॉर्ड्स इन फुल आउटर ज्वाइन? In this case, how many records are there in this output? Full outer join, number of records. I need answer from everyone again. कितने records हैं इस केस में students? Yes, how many records are there in full outer join? As you can see, जो matching है, no, not 5, not 9, right? It is 6. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so as you can see, जो matching है ना, वो second time entry नहीं होती है उसकी. Okay, तो ये common records है दोनों के. Okay, exclusive records कितने हैं? 1, 2 and 3, जिसके corresponding matching record ना इसके इस तरफ के matching है ना इसका इस तरफ का matching है. Okay, so in this case this records are exclusive, तो इसके लेफ्ट वाली जितने भी एट्रीब्यूट्स है नल हो जाएंगे इस केस के. एंड इसके जितने राइट वाले एट्रीब्यूट्स है वो नल हो जाएंगे। सो यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे ये राइट वाले एट्रीब्यूट्स है नल हो गए। ओके, ये किन दोनों रिकॉर्ड की बात हो रही है, ये और इसकी। ओके, और इसके राइट वाले लेफ्ट वाले 1004 की ये सारे नल हो जाएंगे। ओके, so we have these three common records and these three exclusive records, so total is 6. Okay, so my question is, if we have m records here and n records here and there are k common records, so how many records will be there in full outer join? Then what will be an equation for that? M record in left table, N record in right table, and K records in common. So what is an equation for the same? Yes, it is M plus N minus K. Okay, so here we have 5, here we have 4. You can apply that too, right? 5 plus 4 minus 3 common. So 6, 9 minus 3 will become 6. So you have 6 records here as an output, right? So this is the way actually we use full outer join, right outer join, or left outer join. As I told, it is rarely used, but sometimes you may use this. Okay, so please, if it is required, you can go with full outer join, left outer join, or right outer join also. Okay, so means what it is.